Hey, it's Tom and Mike from Take Time to Travel.
We spent 3 months living in Lisbon and exploring all over this beautiful city. So we put together a travel guide to show you some of the best things to do, as well as some of the best places to eat in Lisbon, Portugal.
We'll start in the impressive Praça de Comércio Square, which is surrounded by these colorful buildings, as well as attractive terraces, and features the grand Rua Augusta Arch at one end, which took over 100 years to complete. Just on the other side of the arch, you'll find the bustling Rua Augusta walking street, where the many restaurants have their patios running down the center of the promenade. It really is a picturesque street and worth the visit.
Nearby, on the charming side streets beside Rua Augusta, there's many more eateries, with outdoor seating to check out. And on one of those side streets, called Rua de Santa Justa, you'll find the Santa Justa lift. It's a Portuguese national monument that's a popular tourist destination, offering spectacular views from the top of the elevator.
Right behind the lift, there's another one of the city's attractions, the historic Carmo Convent, which was mostly destroyed during the devastating 1755 Lisbon earthquake. Tickets for the Carmo Convent can be purchased at the entrance and are well worth the admission price. It's awe-inspiring to see the ruins in person. There's also a small museum at the back that's included in the price. But let's keep going. There's lots more to see and do in Lisbon.
Just a 5-minute walk away, there's this charming square in front of the Baixa-Chiado metro. Here, we would quite often find lots of people watching the enthusiastic street performers, which was always fun to see. And this one was even breathing fire.
Next, we'll head over to the grand Avenida da Liberdade. It's a beautiful tree-covered boulevard that's lined with lots of high-end shops and designer boutiques. It's a great place for shopping or to take a leisurely stroll and enjoy the gorgeous architecture.
At the far end of the boulevard, there's the Marquee of Pombal Square, which is right beside Parque Eduardo VII. That includes these manicured hedges running the length of the huge grassy area. We thought that it was a nice background for a selfie. And right across the street, there's another pretty little park.
One more park that we quite enjoyed was the beautiful Jardim da Estrela, which had lovely walking paths lined with lots of greenery, and even some of these huge, cool-looking trees. We loved walking through here. It felt very tropical, and right across the street from the park, you can see the impressive Estrela Basilica.
A different place for a scenic stroll in Lisbon is along the Waterfront promenade, where you'll find attractive kiosks and patios, as well as some interesting rock balancing sculptures and some rather large sand sculptures. And over near the Cais de Sodré train station, there's these cute little cabins with vendors selling an assortment of food and drinks.
On the other side of the train station, there's another one of Lisbon's popular attractions called the Timeout Market, which features a huge open dining hall with communal seating, surrounded by many appetizing food and drink counters, selling all kinds of delicious cuisine. We love the massive handmade donuts at Crush Donuts, as well as the exceptional Pastéis de Nata at Manteigaria, which makes some of the best in Lisbon. There's also a large produce market you can check out.
Next, we'll walk a few minutes over to Pink Street. It's a great place to take some memorable photos, or to stop and grab a bite to eat and have something to drink at one of the many busy patios along the colorful pedestrian walkway.
One more nearby popular place to check out is the Ascensor da Bica. It's an inclined funicular that runs up and down one of Lisbon's very steep hills that attracts tons of tourists who want to take photos with the Instagrammable background. What an absolutely gorgeous setting.
Next, we'll head over to the Alfama neighborhood by the Lisbon Cathedral, where you can get some spectacular pics with the famous 28 tram going by. Alfama has so many quaint, narrow streets to wander along, as well as some lovely walking streets. And while you're there, make sure to find one of these ladies selling Ginja. It's a traditional Portuguese cherry liqueur that can be served in an edible chocolate cup. They were very cheap, and we found them quite tasty.
After that, we'll walk over to some of Alfama's marvelous lookout points that are definitely a must-see, like the Miradouro de Santa Luzia observation deck, which has this pretty vine-covered pergola, as well as this phenomenal view. Just around the corner, there's another spot called the Miradouro das Portas do Sol. It has an incredible panoramic vista overlooking Lisbon's rooftops and down to the Tagus River. There's also a kiosk here, which is a great place to have a drink and enjoy the view.
Close by, there's the historic São Jorge Castle, which is another landmark not to be missed. Here, you can stroll along the castle's ancient stone walls and enjoy the breathtaking views overlooking much of the city. There are so many beautiful perspectives up here. There's also peacocks roaming around, as well as a museum to check out too.
One more expansive lookout point is the Miradouro da Senhora do Monte, where you can see for miles. Now, if you've enjoyed watching the video this far, then please make sure to like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Now we'll head across the city, past the 25th of April Bridge, and over to the Belem neighborhood that has lots of cool landmarks like the Belem Tower, which was completed in 1519. It really feels like you're stepping back in time, walking across the wooden bridge and checking out the views from the historic fortification. Seeing all the cannons was pretty cool too.
If you happen to be in Belem on the third Sunday of the month, then make sure to watch the changing of the guard at the Belem Palace. It features a military band on horseback and was quite memorable to watch. There's also the huge monument to the discoveries, which showcases important figures from the age of Portuguese exploration.
Also make sure to check out the impressive Geronimo's Monastery. It's located in this very ornate building and is where the Pastéis de Belém Portuguese custard tarts were invented. This place here, called Pastéis de Belém, is the best place to try them. They've been making the original tarts since 1837, following an ancient recipe from the Geronimo's Monastery, which are excellent with some powdered sugar and cinnamon sprinkled on top. They were absolutely incredible and are definitely one of the must-eats in Lisbon.
Another great place to try a Portuguese classic is O Travou, where we got a large breaded pork sandwich, as well as the traditional pork bifana with cheese sandwich. They were both super cheap and tasty. We would definitely come back here again. O Baixa-Chiado is also a great restaurant we'd go back to, which had a gorgeous domed brick ceiling and tasty food. We love the bacalhau bros. It's a Portuguese dish made from shreds of salted cod, onions, and thinly chopped fried potatoes, all bound with eggs, as well as the cured salmon tartare with crostini, yogurt sauce, and avocado. The braised pork cheeks with sautéed shrimps and sweet potato was exceptional as well.
If you're looking for some upscale dining, we quite enjoyed Baixa-Chiado, where we had a lovely dinner with friends in this ornate dining room. The food was delicious and presented beautifully.
A different palace that we visited was just a short train ride away in Sintra, called the Peña Palace, which was an absolutely magical place to walk around and explore. Make sure to take some time to wander through the stately rooms inside, as well as check out the fantastic views from the palace walls.
Also in Sintra, there's the medieval Castelo dos Moros, or the Castle of the Moors. Walking up the many steps of the fortification's walls, you'll get to enjoy some phenomenal views, even back across to the Peña Palace. Make sure to bring some good shoes for this attraction. One more reason to visit Sintra is for the mysterious Quinta da Regaleira estate. It has a gorgeous palace as well as expansive gardens. But our favorite part was the initiation well, which was fun to explore. At the bottom, there were even some grottos and a nice little waterfall. Wandering around Sintra's Centro Histórico is worth a visit too.
Another Centro Histórico that you'll want to see is in the resort town of Cascais, which is also a short train ride from Lisbon. Cascais has lots of beautiful sandy beaches to relax on, as well as a picturesque waterfront promenade and the rugged Boca do Inferno seaside cliffs. We have more in-depth videos on Cascais, as well as Ginja, and the best restaurants in Lisbon that you'll want to check out. And remember, take time to travel. Catch you on the next one.